Welcome to Morning Journal session number 217. Yeah, it's 217. Glad to have you here with us. We do Morning Journal every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you're jumping live on another platform, you're like, no, you might be catching it about 30 minutes in because we like to hang out with our VIPs first thing in the morning. If you would like to join us for the first part of the show, the bonus content, you can find the link right in the show notes of where you're listening right now, or in the description, or on the screen at flowpage /G Forte. You can find links to everywhere we are, and I'm glad that you're here with us. So if you are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, thank you. And if this is not your first time there, and you already know that you like this vibe, go ahead and drop us a little like, or not a like, a review and some stars so other people can find us. And if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, make sure you follow so you catch these streams every morning. We certainly appreciate you. So, today's conversation. We don't always show up for ourselves the same way that we show up for other people, all right? We give the best of ourselves in ways that can, deplete your energy. We give, and it's not that it's bad to give to other people and support other people and take care of people. That's not an inherently bad thing. But sometimes we operate at a deficit, right? We give, and then we're depleted, and then we become maybe resentful a little bit, feel some type of way, because we feel like we've overextended ourselves. And then living that way and acting that way kind of reinforces a false belief that we're not worthy of care, or that our concerns and that our needs are not worthwhile. So we're going to be talking about ways to kind of work on the way we show up for ourselves, and how that plays out in the different things that we do. So the first prompt, as we get in the conversation started, is what would you do on a date with yourself? And I know I'm setting this up. I didn't think it through with the music and this prompt, because I might have set myself up for some answers that I can't share with you, but we shall see where everybody's head is at this morning. So before we get started, let me just say hi to the folks who came in while I was doing that whole soliloquy. We got Alberto here. We got Mystic Wicked Angel. Mo is here. Enter a nickname. Thank you so much. Let's take a look and see what we got. What would you do on a date with yourself? So Mystic Wicked Angel says, play some video games. Play video games. It's like the same thing I always do. Hen the Dinosaur is watching over on Twitch. Thank you for joining us, Hen. Let us know, what would you do on a date with yourself? That is the question of the moment. SO points out, we get mad because we're stepping over our own boundaries and don't realize it right away. It's like, why you mad? You mad, bro? Yeah, I'm mad. Why? I did it to myself. I did it to myself. Quasha is here. Welcome, and let us know, what will you do on a date with yourself? Warrior says, I think it'd be interesting. I'd make conversation, see what I would say. It'd be helpful and interesting to see me from a different perspective. Yeah, kind of taking it as the perspective of another person. Oh wow, what happened there? I left the stream. F in the chat for me. If you watching on Spoon, you're like, what happened? I gotta find this again. All right. So I gotta. All right, it's gonna be just me on the screen for a second. Hold on, folks. Thank you. I'm doing too much, I know. So let me do a little bit of a sound check. Is anyone else having audio issues on Spoon? Let me know. Sounds good. Okay. I think everybody has a different experience, like can have a little bit of a different experience. So if you having problems with the sound, just let me know and I'll see if it's something on my end. So y'all just gonna get me full screen until I can figure this out. All right. Sounds good, a little laggy at time. Okay. Thank you. Let's see what we got. Thank you. Sometimes it's scrambled. Okay. All right, we're gonna just try to, I guess we're gonna do the best we can. And keeping in mind, it might not be me, it might be you. It might be you. You might need to check your situation. I'm over here trying to do everything to make it twerk, make it do what it do, and it might be you and your connection. Maybe it's not me at all. I don't know. All right. Let's just hold out that as a possibility, okay? All right. So the things that we would do on a date with ourselves, that's what we're working with right now. Mom says, I would stay in, order DoorDash, and watch Star Wars. Stay in, order DoorDash, and watch Star Wars. So Tim says, I would go roller skating, have drinks and a healthy dinner, take me home, shower, and do cuddles. Do cuddles. That sounds good to me. Marie is here. Hi, Marie. We're going on a date with ourselves. What will we do? J-Man says, I would ease any possible nerves with a joke and be myself and be open and honest. Like, I'm a cool guy. Yeah. Quasha says, I would treat me very kind, compliment me, ask myself deep questions, talk about God, eat and walk on a beach, ask for a second date, and be respectful. Okay. So everybody's laying out these blueprints. Everybody's laying out these blueprints. Y'all need to take note, pay attention. Yeah. Quasha says, I'm romantic. Noble Ancient says, I play some solo edition tabletop games and try to win on my own as I am with myself. Probably fix something to eat and relax. Maybe a bit of switch time. Thank you so much for the likes, folks. I appreciate it. Okay. So Alexa says, I would play some board games, take me out to dinner, and then sleep. I mean, hey, there you go. So for Jovi, art exhibit, books, scenic city view, cause photos, dinner, live show, dessert. I mean, we're making a day of it, aren't we? This is gonna start at like what? This is gonna start at like noon, ain't it? K Valor Reese is here. Thank you for joining us. It's like all day. Look like all night. Talking about that dessert. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So here the dinosaur says, you'd be the raptor running around everywhere. Raven would be a T-Rex. Yeah. So Marie says, as a loner, I do that every day. So the norm, I guess, maybe a massage parlor or a roller coaster ride. Hey now. Not a parlor. I mean, it's great to get a massage, but you don't want to go to a parlor for one. Just go see a masseuse. Don't go to the parlor. Have them come and pop that table up at your spot or something. I don't know. There's an overtones to that. Or maybe that's just me. Or maybe that's what you want. I don't know. Maybe that's what you know. Far be it from me. Far be it from me to yuck your yum. I'm not gonna do that. So, all right. Esso says, we napping. We're gonna take a nap date. That's my current favorite activity. All right. Cousin Richard is in the house. What's happening? All right, here we go. Are we back? I know we had, is the audio okay now? Is it better, worse? Let me know. Okay, good. So sometimes we just got to deal with them connections, you know? All right, let's see what we got. So we got Rebecca. Rebecca says, I'm gonna buy me something nice to wear, take my time getting ready because no rush. Take me out to my favorite restaurant for dinner and dessert. Take me home for a nightcap. There we go. There we go. So fortunately, I have more than one way that I can connect. So I just have to switch it around and do the best we can. Thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Rebecca says, I'm a seduce me. Mess around and give myself some. Miss, date with yourself. You said, let me go ahead on and go to a spa day. Maybe go ahead and hit a couple museums, go to an open mic, relaxing walk by a body of water, and give myself kisses. God night. I know you probably think good night, but you know, I know what you said. I can only guess what you meant. All right. Okay. And that's Clown Man. Clown Man says it'll be a fierce rock, paper, scissors competition, and I'm gonna win. A baseline decent blob is here. Y2 majestic voice is in the building. We're going on a date with ourselves. You're gonna go on a date with yourself. What would you do? All right, we're gonna take a couple deep breaths here and get ready to go into the next prompt. So I think that a lot of times when we're gonna go on a date, we want to show up as our best selves. You know, we don't want to come in there half-stepping. Not to pretend to be something else, but just be all of yourself that you can be, right? Yeah, baseline, decent blob. Someone did say give kisses to themselves. I mean, you know. Feel free to go ahead and, I'm going to reset the request box because we're going to go to the next prompt. If you just came in and you want to comment on what you would do on a date with yourself, feel free to drop it in the chat as I get ready to move on to the next one. Drop me a heart. Y'all drop me a heart and let me know if y'all good to go with that. There we go. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. So our first prompt, like one of our check-ins that we did with the VIP is describing themselves at this moment. And I think it might be worthwhile to think about how we are when we are at our best. What 3 adjectives describe you at your best? At your best. So a baseline decent job is eating chips. At your best, you're eating chips. Basement 14 is here. Welcome in. It's good to see you this morning. 3 words to describe yourself, describe you at your best. Retha is in the building. Drop the hello. And let's think about how we are at our best. Marie says observant, attentive, solution oriented. I'm looking for solutions when I'm at my best. Attentive and observant. Marie, I tell you, it seems like vigilance is a big part of you at your best. You're on the lookout. So Noble Ancient says, creative, sociable, and noble. At my best. Creative, sociable, and noble. Alexis has got to go. All right, Alexis, you enjoy the rest of your morning. Got to start getting your mind right for the gig. You know, I know you're gonna be starting work tomorrow, so you got to start getting yourself together, regulating your rest and all that good stuff. Okay, let's see. Confident, inspired, and focused. Confident, inspired, and focus is a baseline D blob. Kaloli Deloli is like 1, honest, 2, respectful, 3, humble. Yeah, clearly, because you couldn't even think of a third one. It's like, I'm so humble, I can't even think of the third one. All right. So for SOK, it is focused, energized, and appreciative. Focused, energized, and appreciative are the 3 when you're at your best. So Clown Man says, at my best, I am energetic, productive, focused. I'm focused, man. I'm a clown man, but I'm focused. There you go. So Miss is trying to slip a 4th one in there, trying to skirt the rules. I get it. I see how it goes. Compassionate, empathetic, and resilient. Compassionate, empathetic, and resilient. So for Jovi, it is engaging, omnipotent. Jovi's like, at my best, I'm God. Engaging, omnipotent, and creative. I hear you, Jovi. It's like, at my best, I'm God. There we go. I should have did yours last, because like, so Basement says, I am loyal, witty, and hopeful. Loyal, witty, and hopeful. So yeah, I think that it's important to note that even when you are not at your best, you're still worthy. Even when you're not at your best, you're still worthy. But it's important to remind yourself, you know, how awesome you are when you are at that prime frequency, when you are really in your groove. It's good to remind yourself that that is possible for you. That is kind of part of your identity. So when you're in those low moments, you're like, you know, it might be a little rough right now. All right, Noble, peace out. Yeah, it might be worth remembering. When I'm at my best, I'm nice, yo. I'm nice. So just keep that in mind. All right, are we ready to go to the next prompt? Drop a heart in the chat if we are ready to go do that. Corey Cho is here. Welcome in. Okay, all right. That's an interesting looking heart. Well, let's catch this last one. Rebecca says, I'm charming, creative, and intelligent. Charming, creative, and intelligent. And late, and almost going to get it erased. All right. All right, let's go ahead and close that down. F in the chat if you were in the middle of typing. It is what it is, yo. Yeah, stay focused, man. All right, here we go. Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. Let's do this one. So let's talk about pouring your heart and soul. Pouring your heart and soul. What have you poured your heart and soul into? And how's it worked out? What have you poured your heart and soul into? So I think that one of the things that might be in your experience, like if you've ever given your best effort towards something and it didn't actually work out still, even though you tried your best, that can be really disappointing, right? And, you know, disappointment is not something that we like to feel. It's like, we almost develop a fear of disappointment. You know, you put yourself out there and then you get, you know, shut down, you fall short, and, you know, it makes it difficult. It can make it difficult at times to try again, to put yourself out there again. But for the most part, I think it's true that the most meaningful experiences lie outside of our fear, on the other side of our fear. So we had a couple folks chime in over on YouTube and Facebook about the last prompt. So as you're working on this one, Retha said, at her best, patient, understanding, and lovable. And Ann Capone is easygoing and thoughtful. Yeah. So what have you poured your heart and soul into, and how's it work? Miss Wicked Angel, thank you for the flame, smile, heart combination. So a baseline decent blob says, into music with my friend Liz. First time I felt like I was using more of my brain in a while. It's the first time you really felt like you were lit up. Being involved in a creative collaboration. So Corey Cho says, today I would do that with my ACT. So we wish you good luck. Yeah, good luck with that. Goose, thank you so much for joining us. Bomb says, I pour my heart and soul into this book I'm writing. It's not finished yet, but I'm hoping this works out well. Pouring your heart and soul into this book. You have to with a book, because that's a difficult thing, you know. So someone anonymously shares, I no longer have a heart or soul. It's someone else's in the best way imaginable. So you've already poured it out. Already poured it out. Mystic Wicked Angel. I poured it into PlayStation Network. Now I'm head of the software manager and moderation, making like $700 a week. So worked out. PlayStation Network. That's interesting. All right. Basement says that I'm trying not to be helpless. I just began to feel like my life is in my hands. That's a beautiful place to be. No longer helpless, recognizing your efficacy. Mo, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. So Marie says, I pour my heart and soul into recreating myself. Oh yes, I had to kill that stupid girl. Now I'm very prosperous and wise, and I love myself more than ever. Still not perfect though. One day. So we all know Marie is a go-getter for sure. Jovi says, I pour my heart and soul into love and care for self, in return creating beautiful relationships in every aspect. Yeah, it's funny how the dividends that come from the investments that you make in yourself are many, and they are, they multiply, right? The investments that you make in yourself they compound. So that was a smart move. All right. Steve is here from the Hold Up TV. The question of the moment is, what have you poured your heart and soul into, and how has it worked out? That's what we're working with right now. We're going to leave this one up as we get ready to, kind of get everybody up to speed. Retha over on Facebook says, reading the Bible more intensely. It's been very revealing and enlightening. So that is what Retha has been pouring heart and soul into. All right. Kiku, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Let's see what we got. So someone has shared, I'm realizing people hate me because I'm Russian American, but I enjoy people who love it. So I give a motivational text to the people so I can make their day. I enjoy making people happy. So despite the hate that you receive, you enjoy making people happy. Clown Man says, putting the effort into my physical body has drastically improved my mental well-being. Yeah. It's amazing how, taking care of your body can take care of so many other things. It's overlooked, it's underappreciated. So while we're still sitting with this and thinking about this before we go to the next prompt, I want to just take a second to say thanks to everyone who's listening, wherever you might be listening. This is, we do this Monday through Friday right here, wherever you are. If you see it, we here. Sometimes we start a little bit later if you're not listening from the VIP, but nevertheless, we are here to have conversations just like the one you're hearing right now. And if you are enjoying it, I invite you to follow, subscribe, whatever the language is that's appropriate for the platform where you're watching it. Let's do that so that you don't miss us the next time we go live. I also want to say, please subscribe to the Morning Journal newsletter if you would be so kind, because that's a great way to get some prompts and be able to sit with them and think about them, in your own space and time. It's free to subscribe. So all you got to do is hit the link that is in the show notes of the podcast that you're listening to, or in the description, or on the screen if you're watching. That flow code situation there, Also, that's it. That's all I gotta say. If we're ready to go to the next prompt, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat for me. Let me see Keshi's last replies that came in. Let's see who coming in late. So Esso says, my career, I guess. I feel like it isn't enough sometimes. I pour my heart and soul into my career, but I feel like it's not enough sometimes. A lot of times it's not enough until it is. It's unfortunately, it's not incremental in the way that it progresses along a straight line. A lot of times there's dips and roadblocks and all sorts of things that you have to overcome. So let's get ready to go to the next prompt. So the next prompt, where are you being half-hearted? I could have said another part of the body, but I'm saying half-hearted. Where are you being half-hearted? I think that a lot of us have obligations, commitments, or even relationships that we've outgrown that still take up a lot of time and attention. And you may not always have the energy or ability to perform at your very best, even for something that matters to you. But you have to ask, is my heart really still here? Do I really still care about this? Because when you do things begrudgingly or half-heartedly, nobody wins. Nobody wins when you're not really with it. So looking at the things that you're doing half-heartedly and begrudgingly, those things might be candidates for elimination. It's not like you don't have enough to do. So just asking those questions, does it really matter? Is this still important? And then have the courage to be like, okay, am I going to lean in or am I going to walk away? That's the question. So where are you being half-hearted? Rebecca had to come in, do a fit check. Thank you, Rebecca. It's like, it's like, what am I just kind of going through the motions on? Not in a good way. Because there is a good way to go through the motions, like where you know that it's important and you don't feel it. So you just start moving. And as you start moving, you start building momentum. But going through the motions like you don't care. That's what I'm talking about. So Marie says, oh, my future. I don't know where I'm going specifically and don't care. I'm just trying to be happy. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I have no future plans outside of that right now. Okay. So you've reached a point where from the answers that you've given, you've reached a point where you're like, I've been hustling, I've been building, I've been striving, and I feel good right now. So I'm not really that focused on what's next. So for Kaloli, out of the box is in school and church duties, I've been kind of half-hearted. So, okay, but Brene Brown fan much? I overcommit. Why are you calling me out specifically? I feel attacked. This is violence. Oh, yeah. Somebody called the law. Mrs. like, someone please call 911. Oh, man. So, SOK says, lately, most things feel like that. Anything that requires me to be awake. So that's where the question is so important. Because you are half-hearted at the moment, you have to ask those questions, because it could be that you're just in a low energetic state. You might just be dealing with some issues that prevent you from really being able to put forth your best effort. So that's why those questions are there. Asking, is my heart still here? And you can answer, yes, it is. It's important. I do care about this. And then if you can recognize that you do still care, then you just keep doing the best that you can, right? But if you recognize that this is actually not that important, then maybe it's time to have a important conversation. Like, maybe this doesn't matter to me. Maybe that's why I can't seem to devote myself to it. So for Retha, it's been exercise and eating healthy. Haven't really been giving it all I got on that. So Miss says, I need to reassess what I commit to and say yes to. Absolutely. That's just a signal, It might be noise, it might be signal, but it's worth noticing. Like, your boy has stepped in. Marie, thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. So Clown Man says, I've been working my tail off for the financial security I want, and my social life has all but disappeared. So you've been leaning in one area and another area has suffered. How do you feel about it, though? How do you feel about that? Yeah. Basement says, I have depresso espresso, so having any focus feels impossible. I guess that anytime, we use words about like impossible, it's worthwhile to take a look at your experience and find a situation or case where that was not true. Because I'm pretty sure it's been not true at some place. So it's okay. It's like, yeah, laughter and sadness are like a step away. Yeah, we want to challenge. We want to challenge ourselves, challenge the validity of the things that we say when we say stuff like always, never, impossible. All those things, even if they happen to be true in the moment, they're not always true. And if you can find a little crack in the armor, you might find a way to get to the other side. Welcome back, Steve. Thank you for joining us again. Jokey is here. All right. Taking a deep breath here. Where are you being half-hearted? And I guess it's worth thinking about what's the consequences of that over the long term, of not fully being able to commit and lean in without reservation, without, feeling some type of way like guilt or shame or conflict in your mind. So Jokey says, what necessarily is being half-hearted? So yeah, it just means that you are not fully, you're doing something, but you're not fully committed to it. You just kind of, you just kind of going through the motions. You don't really care, but you feel like you have to, but you kind of hate it, and you begrudgingly do it, and you do just enough to not, It's not a great way to be. It's not a great habit to have, to not be able to fully commit to what you're doing. That hesitancy can be a habit. It can be the way you might catch yourself always kind of holding back a little more than you should. So it's just a signal worth taking a look at. So Basement says, being in the moment, that is the skill I desire more than anything, but I don't do things that would support that. So the things that would support that: meditation, working on positive self-talk, mindfulness practices. The sucky part is the shame of not doing those things. So you don't do it, and then you beat yourself up. You let that second arrow come through and take you out. The first arrow stings, the second arrow kills. So it's not just the fact that you feel like you should be doing something, it's the guilt around not doing it that really takes you out. So that one's, you don't need that one. You can just be curious about it rather than judgmental. I think curiosity is a better approach than judgment any day. Just like, wow, that's curious. I'm curious why I didn't do that. I'm curious about why I reacted that way. I'm curious about how it is that I say, I want to try something, but I can't seem to find the energy. What does that mean? Can I just sit in the discomfort of that curiosity rather than judgment? Because, I'm not here to judge you for most things. There's some things, if you do it, I'm like, yo, fam. But, it's curiosity, right? So Jokey says, getting life together is a half-hearted attempt at this point. I'm 19. I've been stuck in my room for years. I know it sounds sad, but I've been genuinely trying. Finally got my permit, but life seems to not want me, if you understand. So Marie says, the moment is always changing. Why sit in something that's subject to change? Because really that's all there is. If you're not present, you're time traveling. Everything else is an illusion except for the present. So you time traveling. There's so much energy in the present moment, and you don't have access to any of it when you're in the past. You know? So the value of sitting in the present is just how much energy actually exists there. So you time traveling, you escaping, and the present is probably the most peaceful place to be. You know? So, all right. So I just want to kind of look at Joki. It's like every time you feel like you make a little bit of progress, it's like, man, why is this so hard? Is this supposed to be this hard? I'm trying, but man, I take one step forward and it's like I get knocked back too. It's like I'm on a treadmill. But I guess the most important thing to do is, I see that you are acknowledging the step that you made. You got your permit. And I guess it's good to look at another little step. It could be that it feels like you keep getting knocked down because you are skipping steps. You're like that meme where someone's stretching out, maybe influenced by other people's expectations of where you should be. And you're trying to do that rather than, being content with the little steps that are available to you in the moment. You build momentum that way. So if you feel like you keep getting knocked down, maybe just try to take a smaller step, one that's so ridiculously small that it seems like you don't even, it's not even worth acknowledging. But that's where the growth is. And taking those little ones, those steps that don't even seem important enough to mention, but you do it and then you get more confidence, and then you kind of reshape yourself. Marie says, nah, fam, we leaping, yo. We leaping. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Go ahead and drop a heart in the chat if you're ready for the next prompt. We can get into that. All right, let's do it. Now, we've used this prompt before, but I think it's important to kind of think of this prompt in the context of the conversation that we've been having thus far. Because one of the things that keeps us from going full in, going all in, one of the things that keeps us sort of not pouring our heart and soul into something is because we recognize that opportunity costs are a real thing. Making one choice, going down one path means we have to let something else go. And that fear of letting go of something keeps us from being fully committed to the other thing. Joki, well, I'm glad that you found this conversation useful. And it looks like you're new to Spoon, or at least a little bit new. So we do this every morning. We'll be here. We'd love to have you as a part of our community. So, yeah, what are you afraid of missing out on? Because when you make a decision, you cut off some potential paths. That's just the reality of it. Sometimes the things that you want are in conflict. They're mutually exclusive. And when you try to have both, you end up having neither one. It's like you never fully have either when you try to have things that are in conflict. So sometimes we can't be wholehearted in our efforts. Sometimes we are not leaning in fully because we know that to do so would be to leave something behind that we're afraid of losing or afraid of missing out on, a possibility that we think will disappear if we fully, decide. So what are you afraid of missing out on? Basement is being young. I don't want to miss out on being young and living that life. I gotta get out there and do my thing. So Jokey says, afraid of missing out on love. I've been broken more than I may enjoy to admit. When love seems to find me, I seem to graze by it without notice, yet I feel that I am here to love. You dismiss it, but you feel like that's why you're here. I think sometimes, being broken, sometimes being broken is just being opened. If you're not shattered, and if you don't want to be shattered, but sometimes the breaking of the heart is just the opening of the heart. So if you feel inclined, and if you feel like you are here to love, then you have to try to find the courage to do that. KJ, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the things that we are afraid of missing out on. Miss says, I'm afraid of missing out of everything I know I'm capable of. I'm releasing everything that prevents me from thriving. It's that potential. It's that thing that you know that is in you as a possibility. And you don't want to miss it. So you got to make room for it, right? You got to make room. Marie says, I'm afraid of missing out on information, not paying attention. Living in the moment prevents me from being predictive. I like to be prepared. We are farmers. Boom, 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 boom. AK is here. Welcome in, AK. It's good to see you this morning. You came in on a big old doozy. You're talking about being afraid to miss out on something. We are farmers. Dum, 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 dum. So yeah, I think that it's a difficult balance to strike, because even when you are preparing, when are you doing it? You're doing it now. You think you're aware of a future that you are responsible for, but you know that you can't live in it. Your state of awareness and where you are, your state of awareness doesn't prevent you from being predictive. That's a tall order. We're not as good at that as we think we are. But that kind of tracks with your vigilance. The thing that you say you are at your best, you are paying attention, you are noticing things, you got your eyes and ears open because you don't want to miss some information that might be useful to you. KJ, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. So Esso says that I am afraid of missing out on my faith, self-acceptance, the colors of life. I don't want to miss that. And sometimes it seems like when we are focused, we're trying to pour ourselves into our career. There's this thing in the back of our minds like, oh, but we need connection. We need love. We need these other things. It can't just be this, right? And I don't want to be, oversimplify and just talk about balance. I think one thing that's true about balance is it is not static. You can't stay still and be balanced because everything is moving, right? So you have to be in motion to hold your center. I mean, the very planet is whizzing through the cosmos. So how can you be still and stay balanced? So it's always a matter of looking and finding that place. So Rachel is here, folks, and so is Emmy. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the things we are afraid of missing out on, but in the context of where our heart is being invested. So it's just the gravity of making decisions that can be frightening in relation to what our future options become. Thank you so much for the likes. We are breathing, we are flowing, and we are appreciating each and every one of you for being a part of Morning Journal, session number 217. We have 19 beautiful souls in the VIP right now. Make that 20. We're talking about the things that we are afraid of missing out on, understanding that sometimes trying to have both, you get neither or not all of either. So having the courage and willingness to make the choice and be at peace with the choice, that's the task that's before us if we want to live wholeheartedly, if we want to be fully in it. So we will leave the excuse me. We will leave this box up for you to continue to think about this. For the folks who just came in, if you want to add your response, I want to take the opportunity now to kind of recap sort of the main ideas that we went on, talked about over the course of today's session. So we talked about what you would do on a date with yourself. Sometimes we don't necessarily, you might put some on the calendar and set a reminder, or have your loved ones call you and say, hey, I got this big date. I got this thing coming up. Please keep me on point. There's an important event that you need to attend. We get really good and ready for that, you know, but when it comes to ourselves, what do we do, right? What would it look like if you created that type of space and attention and you took it as seriously, the things that are important to you? How might that change things? So that was the first prompt. And then we started talking about kind of reinforcing how valuable we are by taking note of how we are when we are at our best. Of course, we're not always there, but it's nice to remember how nice we are with it, you know? So we need to remind ourselves, you know, at my best, I have all these great things going for me. And yes, I might be feeling a little low right now, but look at what's possible for me and I can get back there again. So I don't have to be afraid to try. So that's where we went next. And then we talked about like what you pour your heart into, what you're really leaning in on and giving it all you got, how fraught it is to really try. Because when you half step and you have an alibi, if it doesn't work out, you know, it's a little disappointment, but you can get over it because you recognize that you still left something in the tank. But if you really try and it doesn't work out and you can't make it happen, that can be crushing. So we protect ourselves from that disappointment by not trying our best. We hold something back. So when is a time that you didn't do that? Or are you in a space now where you are not doing that? Are you in a place, or are there things where you can look yourself in the eye and say, you know what? I really went for it here. And then finally, we talked about, before getting to this prompt, we talked about the things that we are doing half-heartedly, begrudgingly. The ways that we are, I don't know, we're not fully committed. We're hedging. We won't walk away, but it's not serving us. You know, we're just kind of there. We're stuck in an obligation or in a connection or a relationship out of habit, and it's not serving us anymore. But here we go. We're still doing it half-heartedly. But when you're doing that, it's a signal. It means that you need to ask yourself a question, because that thing might be something that is a candidate for removal. Maybe you can create some more space for joy in your life, more space for growth in your life, if you can eliminate the things that that you don't even really care about for real, but you're just kind of doing. And then in this final prompt, we talked about what it is that you are afraid to miss out on, because I think that fear of missing out keeps us holding on to those things that are not great, but just familiar. You know, we know what it is, we see what it is, but you know. So that's been sort of the conversation today. And I've enjoyed your responses and the way that you've engaged with this session today. It's been really cool. So let me see where we at right now. Thank you so much for the like. I really do like this multiple like feature. I like the fact that we can, you know, keep showing that love. So if we're ready to go to the next prompt, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat and we'll do that. Rachel is snuggled in the bed, not in the store. I love that. Got that day off, or at least for now. Maybe you got to go in later. Well, I'm glad that you chose to spend that time with us. At least a bit of it. All right, here we are. Jokey says, I more than enjoy you, G. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's so interesting. A lot of times when you don't know what to make of a person when you see their profile pic. You don't know what kind of heat they're going to be bringing to you. You dig? But I don't judge. I give everyone a chance. So I'm glad that I gave you the chance that I did. It's like, okay, here we go. No, for real. It's like, okay, you got to brace yourself sometimes. All right. So with that, how can you love yourself a little bit better today? That's the final prompt of the day. How can you love yourself just a little bit better? I'll open up the request box. And as you fill that out, I just want to say thanks to everyone. If you're watching, if you're still here, if you're watching the replay, thank you for doing that. Thank you for listening in on Spotify and Apple Podcast. We're live here on Spoon, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter. A lot of places we live every morning, Monday through Friday. We start at 6 a.m. in the VIP, and then we just kind of ride it out from there. So if you've enjoyed it, I'd love to see you again. Also, let me say, subscribe to the Morning Journal newsletter. You can find the links to that. If you enjoy these prompts, we provide these and other prompts to you right in your inbox. So it's a very quick way to get the main ideas of the stream, and you can spend some time reflecting on it yourself, and you can answer in the comments on the newsletter, and I can respond to you there just like we do here. So I would love it if you would subscribe there and check out the newsletter. Yeah. And if you're listening, Apple Music, Spotify, go ahead and leave a rating and a review, so people can find us. You know the deal. I really appreciate y'all. So how you can love yourself a little better today is the question. Let's see what kind of answers we got. So Steve from the Hold Up TV says, take breaths, be patient with myself. eat salads. There you go. Jokey says, my Joker may seem crazy, but I'm a teddy bear. Well, that's what's up. You seem pretty cool. So Retha says, quiet time, no sounds, just me and my thoughts. That is a way that Retha can maybe not listening to the same song every day, all day. So Retha's my mom for anybody that's new, and she'll play one song all day. She actually called me, FaceTimed me, says, how do I get this thing to repeat all day? So we had to go to YouTube Music. So this is where you need to go, YouTube Music, and then you can hit repeat and just let it run. All right, loving yourself a little better today. That is the question. Bomb says, I can get some work done, maybe housework, maybe a stream, maybe some writing. So you want to engage your creativity, improve your space. Yeah, make your surroundings a little bit more inviting and fit for purpose. Miss says, yo, my earbuds are busted, so I'm loving on myself today with superior audio tech. So you got to upgrade your audio situation. All right. Yeah, sometimes if it's important, if sound is important, you want to be able to hear things clearly and cleanly. I think platforms like Spoon, where the VIP is located, sound is, you like sound. Else you wouldn't be able to get down on the audio platform. So you're here, so, you might as well have it sounding like something. I try to create that. I know we had some issues earlier, and I appreciate y'all for pointing that out. I'm never mad when someone says, yo, your joint glitching, yo. Why it sound like that? I'm never mad at that. I appreciate it because I want it to come through, So let's do it. Let's think about ways we can love ourselves just a little better. Joker or Jokey says, hard to admit, though it seems like a smart move. Reflect on the friends I currently have. It seems I have a few that do not want what is best for me. So remove them and go forward. Gotta clean house a little bit. The people you spend time with have a huge impact on the quality of your life. Your associations. So So Rachel says, nourishing my, staying hydrated, never think that things happen for me, not to me. Yeah, it happens not to me. So I can make this work. Because speaking of Wi-Fi, my stream over on YouTube is garbage. Why are you cursing my connections right now? And I'm plugged in. All right. Jovi says, more writing, more exercise, more water, more prayer. Yeah. Esso says, I need to be honest with myself and reallocate my energy and focus to be more targeted and give myself a break. Let me give me a break. Yeah, don't shoot that second arrow. So Rachel says, oh yeah, and prayer. Chloe out the box, more sleep. Yeah. Chloe's so tired, it's like, I ain't got time to reach over there and press that button. So Jokey's praying for a beautiful finish to the stream. I appreciate that. You know, technology, man, we be in the struggle out here sometimes keeping this together. But the most important thing is that you take something from this. Everyone is listening. That you take something from it and that it provides value to you. And I have to kind of allow, as much as I want it to go a certain way, keep remembering that it's not about me and what I want it to do. You know, it's about you and what it does for you. And yeah. And if that's happening and if it's being of benefit, then it's a win. And I can just keep making it better because it's a craft and I want to do it well. So I'm always going to be focused on doing it as well as I can. But at the end of the day, if it makes your day better, then it's been a success. I'm being successful when I show up, right? I'm being successful, to go to the prompt from yesterday. I'm being successful when I show up and flow with what happens and finish, right? All right. Thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. All right, folks, for those listening, we got about 10 minutes left for the VIP, so we're going to keep hanging out. If you're watching, look at the screen right now. There's a link that says flow.page/G4Tay. You can go there and join us. Find the link that says VIP and join us in here. Go ahead and subscribe to the newsletter while you're there. If our time is over for today and you've had enough of me, thank you for spending the time with me that you have, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Yeah.